She won her first movie award before she was even a teenager. While other kids her age were worrying about homework, Jodie Foster was standing next to Robert De Niro, acting in one of the most talked-about films of the decade. But here's the part that surprises most people. Despite being famous since childhood, she managed to keep her personal life almost completely private for decades. So how does someone become one of Hollywood's most respected stars while staying so quiet about her own life? Let us find out. Jodie Foster was born Alicia Christian Foster on November 19, 1962, in Los Angeles, California. Her parents separated before she was even born, so she was raised mainly by her mother, who worked in the film industry as a critic and had connections that helped Jodie get noticed early. By the time she was just 2 years old, she was already appearing in commercials. Acting was not something she stumbled into later in life. It was simply the world she grew up in from the very beginning. At only 12 years old, Jodie landed a role in Taxi Driver, playing a young character caught in a dark and difficult story. The role shocked audiences and critics alike, and it earned her an Academy Award nomination while she was still a child. Most children that age are focused on school and friends, but Jodie was already being taken seriously as a real actress, not just a young face in movies. That early success could have easily gone to her head, but instead, she stayed remarkably grounded. One of the most surprising parts of Jodie's life is that even at the height of her fame, she chose to prioritize her education. She enrolled at Yale University and earned a degree in literature, something very few child stars ever do. She has spoken about how she balanced acting jobs with actual college classes, proving that she valued her mind just as much as her career. This decision shaped the rest of her life. She became known not just as a talented performer, but as someone who thinks deeply about everything she does. As she grew into adulthood, Jodie continued choosing complex, challenging roles instead of chasing easy fame. She won her first Oscar for The Accused, playing a woman fighting for justice after a terrible assault, and later won a second Oscar for her unforgettable performance in The Silence of the Lambs. These were not roles chosen for popularity. They were chosen because they meant something. Over time, she also stepped behind the camera, becoming a respected director, showing that her talent went far beyond acting alone. Despite decades of fame, Jodie kept her personal life extremely private. For years, tabloids tried to dig into her relationships, but she rarely responded publicly. She simply continued living life on her own terms, refusing to let outside pressure control her choices. Eventually, she opened up more about her personal life, including her long relationship with Alexandra Hedison, whom she married in 2014. Jodie also has 2 adult sons from an earlier relationship, and she has always kept details about her children away from the public spotlight, protecting their privacy just as fiercely as her own. Even now, in her 60s, Jodie continues working steadily instead of slowing down. She recently starred in a French film called A Private Life, playing an American psychoanalyst living in Paris, and she performed the entire role speaking French, something she had to prepare carefully for. She has openly said that this stage of her life feels freer than ever before, as though age brought her a kind of comfort in herself that she never had when she was younger. She also won her first Emmy Award for her performance in the series True Detective, Night Country, proving that her talent continues to grow even after decades in the industry. Jodie Foster's life shows that fame does not need to come with constant attention or noise. She built one of the most respected careers in film history by staying true to her own values, protecting the people she loves, and choosing work that actually matters to her instead of chasing headlines. Her story proves that quiet confidence and steady dedication can outlast trends, gossip, and even time itself, and that real success often looks less like performance and more like simply staying honest with yourself, year after year.